When I got into supercars, I became a fan immediately. But the more I learned, the more I realized how much I didn't know. And over the last year, I think I'm educated enough in the sport, the circuit, and the drivers and the history. I don't know as much as some of you out there, obviously, but compared to North American race car fans, I damn sure know more than most. I think I'm okay doing this video. In a lot of videos, I've covered him numerous times. This is the first time I'm going to cover how Australia lost him. All I know is that he died in a crash in a race. That's all I know. I've steered away from it. Last thing I want to do is disrespect the sport or him or fans. So I wanted to wait until at least I had a good beat on things. So here we go.
Thousands of motorsports fans turning out at Victoria's Sandown Raceway. Rocky's two sons drove his first car on a final lap of honour.
Ah, wow.
The Brock family, including partner Julie Bamford and his former de facto wife, Bev, had pole position in the stands.
I don't know if it's my Scottish blood or what, but something about that instrument. It's hard to tell whether it's a crappy instrument being played really well or a really good instrument being played really poorly.
The trackside chaplain almost committed blasphemy by wearing a Ford cap. A Ford cap. But this was a day when all motor racing denominations joined as one.
Today we are honouring his final journey here to Sandown.
Hey, Moffat.
Where a part of him will always remain.
Ah, man.
In our hearts.
Ah.
All of you know him affectionately as Brocky. To me, he was a great friend.
Ah,
That
man.
I called Peter.
Oh, shit.
Alexandra Brock gave her dad one last checkered flag.
Oh, man, I got goosebumps.
The shock death of motor racing legend Peter Brock. His sports car hit a tree during a rally in Western Australia.
Ah, I didn't know it was a tree. He was rallying?
He'd only joined the race today.
Peter Brock's Daytona Coupe hit a tree just after lunch while competing in the Targa West Rally.
What did he mean when he said he just joined the race today?
We've been advised that there's been a tragic accident in an event being held in and around Perth. Peter Brock has been killed.
Brock's co-driver Mick Hone survived the crash and was taken to hospital as crash investigators began trying to work out what went wrong.
I've said this before, some people are just born without an amygdala. There's something that they love doing it so much that, the consequences are part of the ride, so to speak.
Rest of today's racing, that's been cancelled at this stage, and the drivers and race
Well, I
officials
guess
are
so.
going to meet later on this evening to discuss the future of the event. There's still 3 days to go.
So did that event continue? Or is it still going on? Man.
The James Hardy 1000 at Bathurst is a good example of the excitement such races can generate.
Well, of course, because they're real cars. Formula One cars aren't cars, they're racing machines.
An Australian driving an Australian car can attract the kind of hero worship normally associated with the Grand Prix circuit. Some even liken him to an Aussie version of Paul Newman. Very cool, very good looking, and very fast.
That's a really good comparison. Paul Newman, that really fits. In a lot of different ways. The cars, the fame, the women, the rock star. It's a really good characterization, Paul Newman. There. He just did it again. The guy doesn't blink. Nothing. 10 steps ahead.
I just get behind that wheel of that car and I know what I can do best.
Yeah, for a guy like that, man, the car is an extension of him. The guy's so focused.
I just love him. I love him so much.
Does that competition ever put pressures on you and your marriage?
No. If I worried about every girl who got the hots for Peter, I'd be a cock case.
You know, it does take a special kind of lady to marry a rock star. You know, it does.
I used to be able to write off condoms.
And Peter Brock has won it 8 times.
Wow.
Do you think you're the best?
I do. I say that because I have belief in my ability.
That's a face value Buddhist reaction. Do you think you're the best? He knows he's the best. You know, I don't know how many he'd won at the time of this interview. But, you know, when you know it, you know it. And there's something to be said for people who would humble their way around that. But when everyone already knows the truth, you know.
He sets his mind on a mission. He's single-minded.
Beverly Brock. You'd have to say the perfect formula for a racing driver's wife.
Rare natural talent, but because he works very hard at it. And a lot of other people who sort of, you know, they get a bit put off by the fact that he is out there winning all the time. But they don't know the man.
At 13, Peter Brock gets his first taste of speed in a car he built himself.
No shit.
I took to racing like a duck to water.
Inside the car with Peter Brock, frightening part of the second.
Oh, I love that car. Yeah, I'm telling you, that Holden right there, the red and white one, I've used an image of that and animated it for a few of my videos. That is one of the fucking sickest looking cars I've ever seen in my life. I just love everything about that car. That's awesome.
Rub on the tail of Alan Grimes. Tailgating is Peter Brock.
Have you ever been scared during a race?
I remember at one particular time at Bathurst coming over the top of the mountain, and I pushed the pedal to the floor and there was absolutely nothing there. I got down the bottom, I thought, whew, that was a problem.
I don't think he's blinked in this scene either.
At over 250 kilometres an hour,
what the?
One mistake could be your last.
Oh, one upside down and just went straight.
It's like
oh
walking
man,
a tightrope.
Seeing, oh, look at that freeze frame. Big barrel roll accidents like this. I mean, it's one thing when you're driving a modded out carbon fiber shell that's meant to look like a Mustang or a Camaro or a Supra. But these old cars, I mean, I know they were modded to some extent, but I mean, they would have been steel, wouldn't they? That's a lot of weight flying through the air.
How about their wives?
Do you get nervous? Do you ever fear an accident that you might end up living with an invalid?
Never. Never even. Thought never enters my mind. We're going to worry about things like that. You'd never get out of bed of a morning.
Beverly,
True.
why do you think that it...
He can just avoid those situations.
It's a confidence...
You know, that's the problem, though. You only have to miscalculate once. You know, at least he had a whole career to give, you know, to the sport, to the fans, and to the, you know, at least he had the time to build his legend. I mean, what was he, 61? If it had happened in his 20s, would people have said, you know, at that, you know, would he have been known as still the best, even though he hadn't finished his career? Would it be one of those competitors like, oh, imagine what he could have been, you know? Maybe he won 2 Bathursts in a row, and people are like, how many could he have won? And we never would have known, you know? I mean, there's something like profoundly unique about Bathurst. You take any driver that's won a race multiple times, but when you've won a race on a track like that many times, that's a band apart. May you all find water and shade. Please support the channel. Give me a like and a subscribe. It goes a long way to help me get to Australia. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one.